because you mentioned voice acting and Ralph in the same sentence. And so I want to talk about the fact that you really, in this industry, have just like cornered the market on voiceover work, I feel like.
Weird.
Do you think it's from that Juilliard, or did you always do voices?
Always did voices, always had a sort of mimic thing going on, but Ralph was the one that codified it for me. Well, yeah, but here's what you listen for. And suddenly I could hear a lot more things that I couldn't hear before because there was a formal training to that. There was a vocabulary that he added to it. There was a phonetic language that he taught us. And you could make phonetic notations on stuff and all that. So you're hearing things with a lot more specificity. And you're going, okay, no, wait a second. You hear that, and you hear that, and you hear that. And funny enough, I'm doing some very, again, sorry.
Is that the thing with Ron Moore that you can't talk about? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
One of the things, yeah.
You know, actually, Ron Moore is rumored to have been up for writing a Star Wars project at some point, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I ran into him at the ranch years ago. That wouldn't happen to be
the thing that you're...
No.
I mean, listen, I had to try.
But no, he was writing the first attempt at a Star Wars television series, which was never produced. Yeah. And I bumped into him at the ranch. At the time. Yeah, I remember we were all sitting there.
Was this after Battlestar?
This was after Battlestar, and I was doing a video game called Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, and it was they were attempting to use mocap technology for the first time and use your likeness and all this stuff, which they do all the time now, but they never did back then.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and we're drinking wine with the cast, and I'm having this nice little moment, and I keep glancing over to the corner, and I'm like, that bearded guy looks kind of like a young George Lucas, but looks more like my old boss, Ron Moore. He looks a lot more. And if you look at Ron and George together,
you're right. It's like a young, I could see that.
Young George Lucas. Like if Ron wanted to, let's dress up Ron like George.
Oh my God, for Halloween?
He could pull it off like a motherfucker.
Oh my God, he really could.
And then I could train him in my voice and speech. I'd say,
and you kind of talk like this. Or
you could just Cyrano him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're fired.
But no, he was there, and I went over and what are you doing here? I'm writing the Star Wars TV series. Like, what? And so yeah, he's awesome.
You don't have to talk about it anymore. We won't talk about Ron because I know it's a secret project that you guys are going to hire me for. So I'm just kidding.
It's hilarious. Is this right now more R&D than anything? There's a whole bunch of weird stuff that I got pulled into, and it is also Star Wars' fault that I'm pulled into this stuff.
Yes,
because again, I shouldn't even say this.
It's fine. The voices. The first Star Wars thing you booked was the video game played Starkiller.
Yeah.
Has there ever been talks about? Have you ever cornered Dave or Anne? Because I understand you've got Anne wrapped around your little finger.
Well, I don't think anyone has Anne.
I'm gonna say she doesn't.
Anne,
she doesn't.
It's hilarious. Anne, ever since I met Anne, I don't look, you play her.
I know. I was literally going to say, I think bo-katan is the only person that has Anne wrapped around her finger because
you play her.
I am her.
Yeah.
Yes.
That character, what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is that bo-katan was really, it's Anne.
It's named after Anne and a cat.
Yes.
Anne's Cat Boogie. Right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just knew that,
so.
I saw the character model. I'm like, well, it looks just like Anne, so that's Anne. And it is Anne. Look at the character,
Yeah. Which is weird because people think that it was drafted after me. And I'm like, no, that's Dave's wife, Anne.
Right.
We just look enough alike.
Right. Well, that's true.
That it actually works.
Yeah. Which is astonishing. I remember when he first hired you, and I know I said to him, I'm like, what's great about that casting is you could just throw her in armor and you would have the character. And he's like, yeah, no, it's interesting, right? That's interesting. Right?
Oh my God, you actually do his voice for
right.
beautifully.
Yeah. But so he was thinking way ahead about all of that stuff. But,
I'm sure he was.
But yeah, so Anne, what's funny about Anne is that I often, because here's the thing, Anne at one point was like, she's like, wouldn't it be cool if you were, in one of these things? And I was like, Anne, I cannot, by some sort of coding in the back of my brain, ever suggest that to people.
No, of course
not.
You can't suggest it.
No.
I can.
Oh, right. Yeah. Wow.
I can say, you guys, we should hire Sam.
Right. You could.
I say we as if I'm like part of it now.
Exactly.
It's up to me. I'm like, guys, it's up to me now. We can hire Sam.
You're in this amazing wonderful. I mean, I love the fact that Dave, he never underestimated the people that were working with him. You know what I mean?
It seems like there's a lot of forethought there, hey?
Yeah. He never looked at it like, well, this is we're, you know, I'd like it to be this, but this is the best we could. No. He hired this person because he wanted this person. He thought that this was the right person. And as you know, anytime that he can make it work to have the person that did the voice be on the TV show, well, they're there.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. And you know, you've mentioned this in other interviews that Lucasfilm is incredibly loyal.
Yeah.
And I have also experienced that. I have like this really protective thing that comes up when I hear people, and it's not people in the industry. It's you know, sometimes when people like, you know, they like to talk shit. And I get this really protective thing, and it like gets me. It happens with Lucasfilm. I'm like,
because they're good people. Because you like them.
Because I like them. They're good people.
Yeah.
I have not met one single person at Lucasfilm that was not a good person.
Yeah.
And they have always treated me with not only the utmost respect, but they've been loyal, and they've given me phenomenal opportunities in my life. Like, holy crap. Like, it's just amazing.
Well, and it's funny because, you know, if anyone would ever say to me, and Anne has even said this to me, she's like, well, what if you could be on one of these shows? And I'm like, it's kind of like, because they're my most loyal employer by far.
Yeah.
Ever feeling like I deserve more than they've already given me is not the right way to look at this. Like, the right way to look at it is like, look at all of the cool stuff that they've given me to do. And by the way, continue to, because now they sometimes pull me into some strange behind the scenes assignments that are so much fun and so difficult and so weird and interesting.
Like what?
And Oh.
None of that. Listen, I know how thick those NDAs are.
There's the tree of trust, and there's a
really good
leaf
beer
that's falling from the tree of trust.